Alright, so we got Macharius and his legendary Crusade explained by an Australian. Let's get this video.
G'day, guys and gal.
Hey, Majorkill.
Everyone is always like, without the Primarchs and Space Marines, mankind would have been doomed. Or, yet people defending the Horus Heresy is a necessary sacrifice.
Wait, what did he just... People are defending whom? Wait a minute. Wait, what?
Space Marines, mankind would have been doomed. Or, yet people defending the Horus Heresy is a necessary sacrifice in order for the Imperium to exist.
As a Warhammer new booty, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't understand that. No. Wait, people say that? Do y'all agree with that? Listen, I know some things, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know about that one. If you agree with it, comment down below. But I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, some of those guys took out Vulcan. I'm gonna just keep it honest with you. I don't mess with Horus and his crew for Nathan. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Or that the Big E was just the best at everything.
He was. He's so cool.
Those people are wrong. Macharius, a mortal man born to mortal parents, proved that you don't need to be an 11-foot tall demigod with daddy issues in order to bend the galaxy over backwards and have your way with it. Some people might say he got lucky, but he had something that none of the super soldier gods had.
What?
A functional sex drive. This guy achieved more than any Primarch could in a fraction of the time, in a significantly more dangerous universe with a significantly smaller array of firepower.
Okay.
And I reckon it's time for you to learn about him. He completely shits on Horus as a War Master. Yes, Horus botched the job a bit, but the point I'm trying to make here is that Macharius outperformed the Primarch, even if said Primarch had remained loyal.
Really?
Today we're going to be going over the life and death of the legendary Macharius and his crusade.
This is my first time I ever heard of Macharius before ever in my life. So I mean, this man Majorkill, man, he hyping him up, man. I mean, he's borderline glazing him, but it's fine. We'll check him out.
AKA Alexander the Great in space.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. The glaze is bro. The glaze is, man. The glaze is standing up 6'7" like Lil Wayne. That's crazy.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into
After the
it.
Horus Heresy, it was universally accepted that the Imperium had entered into a state of slow but steady decline. New spooky Xenos began to emerge, and the Imperium's military might had been slashed by about 75%. The Emperor was now a vegetable/battery, and within a few hundred years, all of his loyalist sons went MIA. To top it off, religion and superstition overrode the Emperor's atheist vision, hence the equivalent of the Dark Ages occurred for thousands of years. It's actually a bloody huge testament to the Emperor that despite how viciously raped the Imperium got, it has still been able to weather absolutely everything the universe has thrown at it for over 10,000 years.
Okay.
So it does come as a bloody huge shock that near the middle of the 41st millennium, a man stepped forth and told the universe to suck off his big juicy balls. This man was called Macharius, but you can call him Alexander the Great in space.
The glaze is absolutely crazy. I mean, bro, I don't even know somebody like Majorkill. You're my guy, but if I'm being honest with you, bro, I don't know somebody who glazed anybody in Warhammer like that before ever in my life. Like, that's crazy.
Seriously, his story is more or less just a copy-paste but thrown in spaceships and aliens and shit. But that doesn't make it boring. Please don't click away from this video if you're an Alexander the Great nerd. I'm sure you can still get a chuckle or learn a thing or two. Born as a privileged white kid as the heir to a planetary governor, Macharius was a genius from the start, becoming a famous general in his early 20s by winning wars and squashing rebellions. This quickly earned him the attention of the High Lords, who were really keen for a win after all the shit that had been going on. He was quickly named the successor to the Lord Commander, and it really didn't take long before the previous Lord Commander died, allowing Macharius to take his place. Yeah, so Macharius was now the Lord Commander and War Master of the Imperium. Fuck me, that was pretty quick. But I guess old mate Alex began his conquest at the age of 22, so it checks out.
Ooh, okay.
Macharius visited Terra to accept the honor of being the...
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is actually kind of drippy. This is drippy right here. Listen. I'm gonna admit that this is pretty nice, man. Is this like his actual was this his armor? Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's cold. That's cold. That's cold.
And he wasn't a
that's
bitch
cold.
about it. Horus, take notes. You bitch. He didn't let the power corrupt him or get to his head, and he didn't want a bar of chaos. After his coronation, he then challenged the galaxy to a duel and declared his intent to conquer a bunch of shit which everyone was pretty down with.
He's not like that, man. Listen. The only guy that I know that's like that is Vulcan. I mean, let's be honest with if whatever Vulcan says goes. So, like, bro, this guy, like this Alexander the Great guy. I mean, if I'm being like completely honest with you, man, he seems cool or whatever. But I mean, if I'm just being real, I don't really think he's like that to begin with.
Lord Hux's speech from the First Order, but instead of a whiny ginger bitch who sounds like he just popped a hemorrhoid, it was a dedicated and inspired young man. Macharius gathered a fuck-off huge fleet and set off into the galaxy, straight towards hostile uncharted territory, and he had some pretty big exciting battles and some extremely close calls. On the hive world of Persepolis, Macharius found his signature winged helmet, which made him look really stylish and not at all like Alexander the Great.
Ooh. Yo. I'ma keep an eye, bro. All right, I'll admit it. His armor is pretty nice. The helmet's nice too. Some that I would wear. Okay. I'll give him. Listen. All right. Cool. I'm not a hater. I'll give him some props. He's not up there with Vulcan. He would never touch Vulcan, but I'll give him some props.
On the planet of Zaga 4, Macharius fought against Chaos Space Marines and was shot in the chest by a bolter round. But he survived! Yeah, the bolter round didn't explode. I mean, I would have thought that the impact of a bolter round hitting you would shatter your ribs and kill you anyway, but not if you're Macharius.
Dang.
A couple years after that,
he
the
like 50 Cent.
Crusade came to a grinding halt when faced with a rogue human world which held a bunch of weapons from the Dark Age of technology. Macharius, just like how Alexander the Great did, got his fleet to hurl a comet at the planet, wiping out their armies and forcing them to surrender.
Oh, wowzers.
Or at least I think Alex did that. I haven't really brushed up on my history for a while. Just after that, Macharius is faced with a fuck-off massive wah and ends up fighting their war boss.
Okay.
Now, Macharius was a great commander, but fighting a war boss in combat is never a good idea, especially for a mortal man, so Alex got pretty bloody ruined.
Ooh.
But he survived again and made a full recovery. In the first year...
Vulcan would have, I'm gonna be honest with you, Vulcan would have cleansed him, bro. Not clean, he would have cleansed him. He would, bro, man, he would have violated his soul. But that's just me. Like, listen, I just got to be honest with you. He would have violated him. I'm just be real.
The Crusade, 100 planets were conquered. In the second year, another 300 more were taken. By the third year, around 700 planets had been integrated into the Imperium. By the end of the 7-year Crusade, over 1,000 new planets had been added into the Imperium. Why did this epic and highly successful crusade end?
He was going crazy.
Was Macharius finally defeated? Did his fleet run out of supplies? Or was he just satisfied with his work and wanted to take a breather? None of those are correct. The truth is that Macharius' fleet had pushed so deep into new land and territory and had conquered so many planets that they were at the very edge of the Astronomicon. If they went any deeper, they would be out of range for their astropaths to pass messages, and their navigators would have an extremely difficult time getting them deeper. On top of that, the worlds that were to be conquered next were all haunted and spooky and shit.
He was scared of that real comp. He was scared of that real... Listen, man, listen. I'll be honest, though. Listen. Let's all give him a hand. This man, bro. This man was taking worlds like the Infinity Stones. Give that man some props immediately. But he got too scared of the comp. Got too scared of the comp. This man was scared of a little of some demons, of some ghosts, of some monsters. The comp had got to his head. I'm gonna be honest with you. Vulcan could literally never. He just, bro, this guy right here, I mean, cool, he got, world taking experience, like bro, who doesn't? But at the same time, like, bro, like, if I'm being honest with you, bro, he was scared of real comp, bro. He's not really battle tested, he like, bro, that's like me beating my brother, like, like 500 times in Madden, like, bro, like I need some new comp. Like, in order for me to get better, I need to go up against the best of the best. I need to go up against like that one kid, who spends prom playing Madden, or who spends prom playing Call of Duty at the house. You get what I'm saying? Like, I need to go up against him. I can't go up against my brother. I beat him 5,000 times. You need to go up against people who can potentially knock you out. but who could potentially, knock you off your, your journey. You gotta go up against people that make you scared. You gotta go up against people that put fear in your heart. That's what you gotta do, to be a winner. Just in life, in all avenues. You can't be, going up against the easy thing all the time. This guy right here, he thought it was all, sunshine and rainbows. Brother, once you step outside that line, there is no rainbows. There is no sunshine. There is no flowers. It's menaces out here. It's like Gotham at 10:30 p.m. This is where it gets a little spooky. This is where the criminals are. This is where the real criminals are out. This is where the real fighters are. If you can't really take the comp, then get out of Gotham immediately. If you can't go up against the best of the best, get out of Gotham immediately. If you can't beat Batman, get out of Gotham immediately. You get what I'm saying? Because if you think about all these villains, they trying to take Batman's head off completely. I would too. If I was a Batman villain, man, I'm coming for I'm going for Batman every night until I win. And that's just it. I'll break out of the Arkham jail. I'll break out of out of GCPD. I'll break out of Arkham Asylum. But guess what? I'm going for Batman's head completely. See, that's my goal. This guy right here, he didn't have any goals. He didn't have anything. He just wanted to take over the worlds. All right, cool. How about you take over that world over there that's going to fight?
Macharius, being the mad lad he was, said, "Fuck it, let's keep going." And his entire army was like, "Bruh."
Well then.
No. So he threw a huge fit and got super drunk. The next morning, he had a nice hangover recovery smoothie, as well as some Barocca, and he was in a great mood. He said to his men, "Alright, fair enough, let's go home." Much to absolutely...
Oh, he still went home. Oh, just hold on, we're going home. He went home. He went, listen. He went home. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I thought that he just... Listen, man, he consumed some Henny, and he just went out there and just did it himself. But, he listened to us guys, listen, they always say this. You're not you when you're hungry. And listen, man, he ate his Snickers, and all of a sudden, he said, "Oh, you know what, man, whatever I was saying last night, forget it. Those guys, man, those guys are too strong. I'm going home." That's basically what he said.
Everyone's relief. Other than Macharius's, he was still secretly super down to keep going, but he's not a selfish prick.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Personal glory. Take notes, Horace. On the way home, with his will and spirit broken due to the Crusade being over, Macharius succumbed to a sickness he received on a jungle world and died. Being Macharius, he didn't try to make a deal with Nurgle or Chaos for survival or power, he just accepted his fate. Take notes, Horace.
I can't lie to you. I kind of respect Horus a little bit more than him. At least for the Horus, man, he was going at the Emperor's neck. Bro, he wanted to be king. He wanted to be... I'm going to be honest with you. Yo, Horus, I don't like you or whatever. But, man, I respect that you went for the king of the crop. You went to the number one guy. You went for him. I understand that. Man. I would have did the same thing. I'm coming for next, bro. Pause. Bro, I'm coming for number one. Man, I'm trying to take that crown immediately. I'm going to be honest with you. I respect that. Bro, this guy, man, he ran into one battle that he thought that was hard. He was like, I don't know, guys. His team was like, yo, I don't think we should do that. He was like, oh, yeah, I want to do that. Secretly, he was like, nah, I'm with y'all. I just got to, look tough in front of the crowd. And then, listen, he ate a Snickers because, like I said before, you're not you when you're hungry. All of a sudden, he came to his senses. He was like, you know what, man? Nah, you guys are right, man. Let's just go home. See, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Somebody like me, man, I'm taking over all the worlds. Forget that, man. Bro, my soldier was like, yo, King Indy, I don't really think, that's smart or whatever. I think we should really lay off on this one. Man, bro, I will turn around, bro, and I will backhand that man with my right hand, bro. No Drake. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. He's out of here. He will never be on my squad again. Bro, my squad, We advance, advance, advance. There is no defend, defend, defend. There is no being smart without tactics. No, bro. Listen, we go crazy. We advance, advance, advance. That's what we do. If I'm being honest with you, that's just like, you know, like my way of like thinking, you know, because that's how I would play it. He don't deserve the title of Alexander the Great. If I'm being honest with you, man, he fell short from that. You know, if he was really like that, he would have went for the worlds, you know, even by himself when he was drunk.
Except what I said above is propaganda and not entirely true. I mean, it's the High Lord's truth, so if you disagree, you die, but the reality is always a bit different. His death is still a bit confusing, but it was quite violent. See, he had gotten sick, but not with jungle fever. Nurgle's plague had taken him and given him only a few weeks to live.
Ooh.
So instead of feeling sorry for himself or joining Chaos for survival, Macharius led an attack on the Nurglite forces and killed their leader. He was then assassinated by either A Chaos cultist, or B, an Imperial assassin, as it would sound better if he died in battle rather than getting taken by Nurgle's gifts. How it happened doesn't really matter. Macharius had fulfilled his destiny and his story had reached a spicy conclusion. His funeral was one of the greatest in the galaxy. An entire planet was converted into a shrine world dedicated to him. He was declared a saint by the ecclesiarchy, and he had a 1,000,000-man parade in his honor.
They use an entire planet for his funeral? Are you serious? Bro, whenever Vulcan takes his last breath, bro, I want the universe to be at his funeral. Are you serious, bro? I want billions to be... Bro, I want trillions, bro, to be at his funeral, bro. What are we talking about? Bro, this guy had a whole planet.
Pilgrims descended to the world to see his tomb, and they all lived happily ever after.
The end.
Psych! While Macharius was a flawless man, his generals were not. Macharius had left a pretty significant power vacuum, which numerous generals found themselves in a position to exploit. As all the worlds that Macharius had conquered were new to the Imperium, they had also not yet solidified their loyalty, hence begun the Macharian Heresy, where those 1,000 worlds picked one of many sides and engaged in a 70-year bloody civil war, which was only ended due to large-scale intervention of Space Marines. The Heresy was basically a 7-faction war, each one led by a previous general of Macharius. What started as an innocent power grab,
Dang, they all wanted power, and basically now there's no power left because they all fought each other for it, and now they're basically all dead.
ended with a mass infestation of Xenos and Chaos, who used the war to try and worm their way in. Space Marines that were sent to pacify the rebellions instead took the opportunity to get even with other loyalist chapters over petty disputes and grudges. It was a very, very messy and chaotic time. It was really only the Dark Angels and Minotaurs who straightened things out properly. The Dark Angels were able to root out the Alpha Legion, and the Minotaurs basically just bullied everyone into...
Oh, like the Dark Angels? You talking about like those bums across the street? The Dark Angels, the bums that who couldn't touch the salamanders. Oh yeah, I know them now.
Mission, and by bully I mean massacre. Don't fuck with the Minotaurs. I reckon Chaos knew Macharius was incorruptible, hence they did what they could to kill him, and then they infected the minds of his lesser generals. Huge testament to Alexander the Great in space.
Why did you get...
Macharius' legacy would remain long after his death, with his tactics being studied for future generations and various machines of war being named after him. You know, as well as that cheeky heresy that happened, teehee, after he kicked the bucket. But, you know, don't worry about that. Long live Macharius the Great, the most original character to ever set foot in Warhammer 40k. And that does us for today, guys. The lore and...
Shout out to Majorkill, man, for this video. I mean, alright, cool. Alright, cool. You want my applause? Obviously, if it was Vulcan. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys every time out. Peace out, everybody.